Okay, good morning, class. I am your teacher for today in Cookery 9, Week 1. I am Lorena Emalala, your teacher. You can call me Mom Lori or Mom Palomares. Okay, so for today's activity, I will teach you how to answer activity tasks 1 to 4, TLE Cookery 9, Week 1 for October 19 to 23, 2020. Okay, so before we start, please bring with you your LAS, the Learning Activity Sheets for Cookery 9, and turn on page 1. Okay, so our LAS for Cookery 9 is composed of for learning outcome, the learning outcome 1, learning outcome 2, and learning outcome 3, and learning outcome 4. For quarter 1 learning outcome 1, we have the perform, miss, and plus. And the learning outcome 1 will be tackled today, the perform, miss, and plus. For learning outcome 2, week 2, next week, so you're going to answer the learning outcome to week 2, prepare a range of appetizer. For week 3, learning outcome 3, present a range of appetizer. And for week 4, store appetizers. Okay, so let us have the quarter 1 learning outcome 1, week 1, perform, Mise, and plus. Okay, so before we proceed, let us first know the objectives of this lesson. For number 1, identify tools and equipment needed in the preparation of appetizers. And 2, classify appetizers according to ingredients. And 3, identify ingredients according to the given recipe. Okay, so let us first define what is mise en place. Okay, do you know what is mise en place? Okay, so mise en place is a French term which means set in place. What is you have everything ready to cook and it is in place. So there are advanced preparation that you need to perform to save time. You should be able to identify and prepare all the needed tools and equipments as well as all the ingredients to make the preparation and cooking easy. So when you hear the word mise en place, it is a French term which means set in place, or you have to put everything in place. So your ingredients, your tools and materials should be prepared. Okay, should be organized when preparing or cooking to make it easy. Okay, so let us have the kitchen tools and equipments. So use in preparing appetizers. So we have the ball cutter. So have you seen a ball cutter? Okay, so ball cutter is a sharp edge scoop for cutting out balls of fruit and vegetables. So if you want to have a balls of fruit and vegetables, you have to use the ball cutter. Okay? So next is a rubber spatula. So rubber spatula is used to scrape off contents of bowls. Okay, so when you are mixing ingredients using a mixing bowl, you can remove the ingredients at the side of the bowl using a rubber scraper or a rubber spatula. Okay, so next is the channel knife. So channel knife is a small hand tool in making garnishes. Okay, so if you are going to make a garnish, so you can use a channel knife. Okay, it is a small hand tool. Okay, so next is a spatula. So spatula is used in manipulating foods like spreading. So when you prepare your appetizer, so you have to use the spatula in spreading some of your spreads on your vase, which is will be tackled soon or after this kitchen tools and equipments. So next is the French knife. Okay, yung French knife po natin is used for chopping, slicing, and dicing. Okay, if you are going to chop, dice, and slice some of your vegetables, you can use the French knife. So next is the zester. So have you seen a zester? Okay, so zester is used to remove a zest or citrus peels in a thin strips. Okay, so as you observe that citrus fruits like orange, calamansi, dalandan have a thin peels or yung balat po nila is manipis. So to be able to remove it, you have to use a zester. Okay? So some of your ingredients in preparing appetizer, you need the zest of the orange or citrus fruits to be able to make your cooking perfect. Okay? So next is chiller. So chiller is used for keeping cold foods chilled for service. Okay, so some foods need to be chilled before serving. Okay, remember that all the foods that is cold, you need to serve it cold, and all the food that is hot, you need to serve it hot. Okay, so next is the fairing knife. So fairing knife is used for trimming and paring fruits and vegetables. Okay, so you use the paring knife in paring and trimming fruits and vegetables. Next is the butter curler. The butter curler is used for making butter curls. Okay, so butter curler from the word butter curler, so butter curls. Okay, it is used for making butter curls. And then next is the cutting boards. So cutting boards is used for cutting fruits and vegetables. Not only fruits, but all the meats, the chickens, fish. But then remember that there are different kinds of cutting boards to be used in the kitchen. There is a designated cutting boards for uh, vegetables, for meats, for chicken, for fish, and to avoid cross contamination. Okay, so you have to use the different cutting boards, but since that we only have one cutting board at home and in our kitchen, so you have to clean it very well, or you clean it properly to avoid food contamination. Next is the wire whip. Okay, yung wire whip natin is used for mixing thinner liquids. So when you mix some sauces or liquids that is there is a need for okay, wait lang po. There is a need to whip it, like for example eggs, a big amount of eggs you are going to whip it, so you use the wire whip. And it's also used in baking. Usually in baking, when you don't have electric mixer or stand mixer, you can use wire whip instead of it. Okay? So next is the kitchen shears. So kitchen shears are used in the kitchen. Okay? With the word kitchen shears. As you can see, it looks like a scissor that we use in our when we prepare our artworks, when we're doing our artworks. But you should avoid using that because it is different from kitchen shears. Okay, so yung kitchen shears is used in the kitchen, and the scissor that we are using in preparing artworks is used for artwork. Okay, so don't use it when you are preparing in the kitchen. Okay, so it might some substance might fall on the foods that you are preparing if you use the scissors that you're using in your artwork. So if it is in artwork, you use the scissor, but if it is in the kitchen, you use the kitchen shears. Okay, so it is different. Okay, so next is the potato masher. So potato masher is designed to press potato and cook vegetables. If you want to prepare a potato mash or a mashed potato, you can use the potato masher so that you can easily mash it. Okay? Not only a potato but also vegetables that needs to be mashed. Okay? So next is oven. So I think everybody is familiar with the oven. So oven is used for baking. So let us have now the measuring tools. Okay? So there are measuring tools used in the kitchen in preparing appetizers. So you should be reminded on the right tools to be used when measuring dry and liquid ingredients. So measuring cups and spoons for dry ingredients. So this here, okay? It is used for measuring dry ingredients. It is used to measure solids and dry ingredients such as flour, fat, and sugar. So, wag kayong magkakamali na gumamit ng liquid measuring cup in measuring dry ingredients because it will not be accurate. Okay, the measurement will not be accurate. Okay, so you have to use the accurate tools in measuring the different ingredients. So next is the measuring cup for liquid ingredients. So it is different from the measuring cup for dry ingredients and measuring cup for liquid ingredients. So the measuring cup for liquid ingredients is called the liquid measuring cup, or we call it also a graduated measuring cup. So are commonly made up of heat-proof glass and transparent so that liquid can be seen. Okay, so when you're measuring the liquid, you can see it because it is clear. Okay, so next is the scales. So we have the two types of scale, the portion scales and the household scales. Okay, so when we say the portion scales are used to weigh serving portions from ounce to 1 pound. Okay, so medyo konti lang yung quantity na minimeasure ni a portion scale. Okay? So the household scale naman is used to weigh large quantity of ingredients in kilos. Okay? So kilo na to. Mas large na yung quantity na nami-measure ni household scale kaysa kay portion scale. Okay? So next is scoops or dipper. So yung scoops and dipper po natin are used to measure serving of soft foods such as fillings, ice cream, and mashed potato. Okay, if you are going to measure yung pong inyong mashed potato or yung ice cream ninyo, you can use scoops or dipper. Okay? Next is the other tools and equipment used in preparing appetizers. So we have the mixing bowls, okay? So there are containers have smooth rounded interior surface with no creases to retain some mixture, okay? So ang ating mixing bowls po has a sloping sides, okay? Next is the mixing spoons. Okay, so our mixing spoons is made of wood. Okay, it is used for mixing ingredients. It is made of wood in different sizes and in different length of the handle. Okay, so as you can see in the picture, it is made of wood. Next is the colanders. So ang colander po natin is also called a vegetable strainer. So when you hear the colander and you hear the vegetable strainer, so it is the same. Okay, are essential for various tasks from cleaning vegetables to straining pasta or tin contents. Okay, so if you're going to cook spaghetti or pasta for your spaghetti, you can use the colander. Okay, when you wash your vegetables at home, you can use the colander. Okay, so next is the refrigerators. Freezers. Okay, so refrigerator and freezers is used in preventing bacterial infections from foods. So usually, ang refrigerator natin and freezer, when you're going to store foods longer time to make the food para ma-consume nyo ng mas matagal. That's the term. Okay, long term use of the foods and to prolong the shelf life of your food, so you have to store it in a freezer or refrigerator. And for the food to prevent from bacterial infections. So next is the canapes. So ano nga ba yung canapes? So canapes are bite-sized, open face sandwich. Consists of tiny portion of food presented on a vase of bread, toast, or pastry easily handled and eaten. So, ibig sabihin po, yung ating canapes daw po, ang base niya ay yung bread toast. Kikita nyo yan, yung nasa ilalim. That is a bread toast. Okay? Pastries, pwede din. Okay, so, as we go on, madidiscuss natin dito yung mga bases, yung type ng bases na pwede nyo gamitin when you're preparing canapes. So next is canapes consists of three parts. So dito natin matatakal yung three, okay? So the first one is the base. So yung base natin is the one holds the spread and garnish. Okay? So ang base po siya yung nag-hold ng ating spread and garnish. Okay? So crackers and toast are premier and give a pleasing texture and crispiness to the canapé. So suggestion for canapés vases are we have the bread cutouts, the toast cutouts, the crackers, the melba toast, the pastry shells, the tortilla chips or cups, and the tiny biscuits, polenta cutouts, miniature pancakes. So these are or those are the bases that you can use in preparing your appetizer. These are the bases. Okay. So next is the spread. Okay, yung spread natin is placed on the top of the base so the garnish sticks to it without falling off. Okay? Yung spread natin yung kumakapit or yung nagpe-prevent dun sa ating mga garnish na mahulog. Okay? So, when you have the base here, nakikita niyo po ba yung yung base natin, yung red. Okay, those are the base. And then the spread natin is yung nasa ibabaw. Okay, yung palaman. Okay? Spread po siya. So, it is used is a base so that the garnish sticks to it without falling. Okay? So, there are three types of spreads. We have the flavored butter, the flavored cream cheese, the meat or fish salad spreads. Okay? For the flavored butter, it is made from softened butter with flavorings. Okay? So this is the first type of the spread. The second one is the flavored cream cheese. So made from flavored butters, except of cream and butter can be used. For the third one is meat or fish salad spreads, made from finely chopped meats or fish that are spreadable. Season should be checked carefully to make the spread more stimulating, okay, to the appetite. Next is the garnish. So we already have the base, we already have the spread. So the third one is the garnish. Okay? So ang garnish po natin is any food or combination of items placed on the top of the spread. So kung may base ka na, may spread ka na, so the third one is the garnish, which usually gives color, design, and texture or flavor accent to the canapes. So usually si garnish yung kapansin-pansin pagdating sa appetizers natin. Okay? So siya yung nasa ibabaw. Siya yung crown. Okay? Siya yung nagbibigay ng color, ng design, ng texture, or flavor accent to the canapé. Okay? The garnish. And then, the food items used to decorate canapés. So we have vegetable pickles. Okay? Ito yung mga pwede nating i-decorate dun sa ating canafe, yung garnish natin. Pwede siyang vegetables, pickles, relish, radish, slices, pickled onions, tomatoes, olives, chutney, parsley, pickles, asparagus, tips, kiffers, cucumber, slices, and pimiento. Okay, so V is fish. Dun sa fish natin, pwede smoked oysters, smoked salmon shrimp, caviar, tuna flakes, sardines, lobster chunks, or slices. And then meats, ham, salami, roast beef, chicken, or turkey. And then for cheese, hard cooked egg slices. We can also use it for garnish for our canapes. Okay, so ito yung example ng ating garnish. As you can see, there are ham, vegetables. Okay? So, ang base dito sa isa natin is biscuits and then the other one is bread. Okay? So, ayan. Yung example ng garnish po natin. Next is the classification of appetizers. So, there are a classification of appetizers. The first one is the cocktails. Okay? So, cocktails are usually juices. Okay? Ito po yung juices of orange, pineapple, grapefruit, or tomatoes served with a cold salad dressing. It may be in the form of fruit or vegetables, juice mixed with little alcohol, like beverages, or seafood like shrimp, crabs, or lobster served with slightly seasoned sauce. Okay? The next one is hors d'oeuvres. So, ang basa po dyan ay hors d'oeuvres. Okay? Hindi siya horse d'oeuvres. Okay, so hors d'oeuvres. So it refers to a small portion of a highly seasoned foods. It is a combination of canapes, olives, top celery, pickled radishes, and fish. It is served on individual plate when guests are seated. Sometimes this is simply placed on a platter and passed around. Hors d'oeuvres are served cold or hot. Okay, so yung hors d'oeuvres daw po natin can be served cold or hot. So next is the canapes. Okay? Canapes are made out of thin slices of breads in different shapes. The bread may be toasted. Okay? May be toasted, sauteed in a butter, or dipped in a well-seasoned mixture of egg, cheese, fish, or meat, then deep pot fried. It is a finger food consisting of three parts: the base, the spread or the toppings, and the garnish. Okay, ito yung diniscuss ko kanina about canapes. Okay, so they could be served hot or cold. There are no set of recipes for making of canapes. Okay? Depende sa'yo kung ano yung gusto mong ilagay. So there is no set recipes for the making of canapes. You may create your own combination of several different colored items on the cut pieces of bread. Okay, depende sa'yo kung paano mo siya i-decorate. Okay? So toasted or fried biscuits and etc. You can use as base. Okay? The larger canapes are termed as zakuskis after the chef Zakuski. Okay, zakuskis ang tawag po dun sa larger canapes. Okay? After Chef Zakuski. Okay, so next is number 4 is relish and crudites. Okay, so our pickled item, which are raw, crisp vegetables, such as julienne carrots. Okay, yung julienne is yung strips. Naka-strips cut siya. Okay? Relishes are generally placed before the guest in a slightly deep boat shape. Okay? Nakalagay po siya dun sa deep boat shape. Lalagyan. Okay? Relish are generally placed before the guest in a slightly deep boat shape. Okay, so next is fetid salad. Ang fetid salad natin are small portions and usually display the characteristics found in most salad. So next is the chips and dips. Okay? So napaka-familiar nyo na dyan yung mga nachos. Okay? Our popular accompaniments to potato chips, crackers, and raw vegetables. Proper consistency in the preparation is important for many dips. It must not be so thick that it cannot be scooped up without breaking the chip or crackers, but it must be thick enough to stick to the items used as dippers. Okay? So next is the fresh fruits and vegetables. Okay, so are the simplest appetizers. So yung fresh fruits and vegetables po natin ay yung pinaka-simplest appetizer. Okay? Fruits are good appetizers because they give attractive appearance, fragrance, appealing taste, and delicious flavor. For example, you could serve a platter of a thinly sliced cucumbers, chunks of red bell pepper, and baby carrots. For a fruit tray, consider serving a red and green grapes, as well as chunks of mango with toothpicks inserted in them. Okay, so nakita niyo ba dito? Toothpicks is inserted in them. Since appetizers should always easy to pick up with the fingers, it should never be drippy or messy. Kailangan hindi siya makalat. So you need to avoid certain fruits or veggies. For example, chunks of avocado or watermelon are probably not the best for appetizer choices. Okay. So next is the finger foods. Okay. A variety of appetizers wherein the only requirement is that you keep everything small enough to be picked up with the fingers and eaten with a little mess. If you want to serve your favorite homemade sausages, cut them into small pieces. Okay, so kailangan siya ay nakakat into small pieces and wrap them with a small piece of pastry shell and bake. Or serve your favorite baked sweet potato fries with a mayonnaise based dipping sauce, individual quiches filled with a ham, cheese, or another good options. Okay, so ito yung mga finger foods. Okay? So next, let us have the guidelines for assembling your canapes. So number one is good mise en place is essential. So ibig sabihin kasi na-discuss natin to yung nauna, the mise en place. So ang ibig sabihin kasi ng mise en place is you have to put everything in place or you have to set it in place. So ibig sabihin, you have to prepare everything, the ingredients and the tools that you needed in the preparation of cooking. Okay? So there you should have a good mise en place. Okay? Kailangan magaling ka pagdating sa mise en place. Mise en place kasi once na hindi mo na-prepare ng maayos yung inyong mga ingredients at saka tools, lalong-lalo na pagdating sa ingredients, maaring may maiwan o hindi nyo maisama dun sa inyong niluluto. So, dapat you always practice mise en place. Okay? So, kailangan lahat ay prepared. Naka-mise en place lahat para wala kang makalimutan. So, magiging smooth yung inyong pagluluto kung lahat ay ready and organized. So, in making canapes, especially for large functions, lalo na kung mga large functions, yung inyong gagawin ganito o ng mga canapes. All bases, spreads, and garnishes must be prepared ahead. So, kailangan naka-prepare na siya ahead of time so that the final assembly may go quickly and smoothly. Kung yan ay hindi naka-prepare, dun ka palang naghahanda ng mga ingredients, I think it will not be successful. Okay? So, lalo na kung large functions yung inyong paggagawan, you need to prepare everything. Okay? So, remember the word mise en place. Okay? So, number 2 is assemble as close as possible to serving time. Okay? So, you have to assemble as close as possible to the serving times. Bases quickly become soggy and spreads and garnishes dries out easily. So, after placing them in a tray, cover them lightly with a plastic and held for a short time under refrigeration. Safe food handling and storage must be observed. Okay? So next is select a harmonious flavor, combination spreads and garnish. So such as mustard and ham, tuna salad and capers, lemon butter and caviar, anchovy butter, hard cooked egg slice and olive, and pimiento cream cheese and sardines. So those are combination in spreads and garnishes. Okay? Yung flavor combinations niya. Okay? So next is make sure that at least one of the ingredients is spicy in flavor. Okay? A blend canapes has a little value as an appetizer. So make sure that at least one of the ingredients is spicy in flavor. Okay? So next is use high quality of ingredients. So syempre, when you're preparing a appetizer, you should use a high quality ingredients. Wag yung paputyo-putyo lang. Kasi kung yan ay large gatherings, so syempre, you have to prepare a quality product or a quality output. So you have to use a quality ingredients for that. So leftover can be used for canapes. Sabi dito, leftovers daw yung mga tira-tira pwedeng gamitin for canapes, but they must be carefully handled and stored to retain freshness. Okay? So kung meron kayong mga tira-tirang mga leftover na canapes, leftover na pagkain katulad ng mga ham, may natira kayo ngayon. But then, you have to keep it or you have to handle it and store it to retain its freshness. Lalo na sa mga gulay. Okay? So, you have to retain the freshness of the vegetables and other ingredients. Okay, so keep it simple. So, syempre, simple is beautiful. No? Okay, so simple meat arrangements are more attractive than extravagant one. Okay? Be sure that the canapes hold together and do not fall apart in the customer's hands. So, kaya nga po, kailangan iwasan natin yung canapes natin, yung pagkakuha ng inyong customers nahulog, nag-fall apart. So, avoid that, okay? So, kailangan simple lang. Huwag yung sober overcrowded na yung nilagay nyo dong decoration dun sa inyong canapes. So, you have to make it simple. Okay? Sabi nga dito, simple meat arrangement are more attractive than dun sa extravagant one. Okay, so next is arrange canapes carefully. Okay? And attractively on trays. So, syempre tayo may iba't ibang katangian or may iba't ibang kakayahan pagdating sa pag-decorate or pag-arrange ng mga canapes. So, you have to arrange the canapes carefully and attractively on trays. So, each tray should carry an assortment of flavor and texture so there is something for every taste. Okay? So, done for the discussion. So let us have now the activity. It's activity time. Okay, so the first activity, so turn on your LAS to page 4, the activity task number 1, kitchen tools and equipment. Okay? So here the directions is identify the following tools and equipment, then write a short description of the uses of functions of each tools and equipment. So write your answer on your TLE answer sheets. Okay? So dun po sa inyong yellow fad paper. So do not write anything on the learning activity sheet. So wala kayong isusulat dun sa LAS na hawak ninyo. Okay? So, ang kailangan nyo pong pagsagutan ay yung inyong yellow pad paper. So, meron akong prepare na template or yung paggagayan ninyo kung paano nyo siya gagawin sa yellow pad. So, dito sa activity 1, sa task 1 natin, you have to identify the tools and equipment. Okay? I-identify nyo daw po itong mga tools na to. Ito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So, 10 tools po siya and equipment na inyong i-identify kung anong tawag dyan. So, madali lang po yung gagawin ninyo dyan. Pagka-identify ninyo ng bawat tools and equipment, you have to write down the uses or function ng bawat tools and equipments. Okay? Okay, so here is the sample template for the activity task 1. Okay, so ganito ang gagawin ninyo. And then I will remind you that the shape of yung tawag dito, yung tanda. Okay? 'Di ba? Yung sabi ko sa inyo is yung lalagyan niyo siya ng piece of paper dun sa upper right corner nung ating yellow pad paper. So, ito yung sample, nandiyan na sa screen. Makikita niyo yung leaves. So, kailangan ganyan. Kung ano man leaves yung basta leaves yung ilagay niyo. If you want to, kung gusto niyo gayahin yung nakalagay dito sa template, you can use it much better. Okay? So, ito yung ilalagay niyo dun sa yellow pad paper. Etong ganitong ganito. Okay? Yan. So, let's move on with the activity task number 2, kitchen tools and equipment. Okay? Turn on your LES on page 4, the same page. Sorry, it's in the same page. Okay? So, direction. Ano ba yung direction natin? Read the mini cheese ball pumpkins with caramelized garlic. Recipe carefully. So you have to read the recipe carefully. List down kitchen tools and equipment that are needed to prepare in order to cook it successfully. Okay? Write the uses or description of each kitchen tools and equipments. So as I have said, doon kayo magsasagot sa yellow pad paper. So, do not write anything on the learning activity sheets. Okay? Yung hawak po ninyo na learning activity sheets ay wag pong susulatan. Okay? So, paano ba natin madedetermine yung mga tools and equipments? Okay? So, basahin yung mabuti itong recipe ng mini cheese balls pumpkins with caramelized garlic. So, saan natin makikita yon? Dun sa procedure. Siyempre. Okay? Dun sa procedure natin makikita. So, direction, for step 1, for example, Melt butter in a small saucepan over a medium-high heat until sizzling. So, syempre dito, makikita mo na agad kung ano yung tools na ginamit doon pa lang sa first sentence. Okay? Doon sa first statement pa lang makikita mo na dyan. For example, doon sa binasa ko, small saucepan yung ginamit. So, meron na kayong isang sagot doon sa activity 2. Anong gamit ni small saucepan? So, yun na lang yung kailangan ninyong hanapin ang sagot. Ano yung use niya? Ano yung function niya? Okay, yung template po natin is the same as activity or task 1. Ganito rin siya. Ang pinagkaiba lang niya is that you're going to find the tools and equipment dun sa given recipe. Okay? Dun nyo hahanapin yung tools and equipment and then after nyo mahanap kung ano or after ninyong ma-identify yung mga tools na kailangan ninyo sa pag-prepare nitong mini cheese ball pumpkin with caramelized garlic, you have to list down or you have to write the uses or the description nung kitchen tools and equipment na nandun sa recipe. Okay? So, eto 10 lang siya, pero kung meron pa, you have to add more. Okay? Kung meron pang hindi, kung more than 10 siya, you have to list down all. Okay? So, next is activity task number 3. So, turn your LAS on page 5. On page 5. Okay? So, activity task number 3, appetizer. Okay? So, direction. Do the following. Write your answer on the TLE answer sheet. As I have said, dun po sa yellow pad paper, and then do not write anything on the learning activity sheets. Okay, so for direction, for letter A direction, identification po siya. So, read the statement carefully and write the correct word that describes the statement. Okay? So, for number 1, buttercream or finely chopped meat or fish placed on the top of the canapes. So, ano po yung sinasabi dito sa statement na to? So, yun yung isasagot ninyo dito sa blanco to. Okay, yung yellow na to. Okay? So, ayan. Ganun lang ang gagawin po. So, ito yung template natin. Oh, wala ta akong nasulat. Okay, ito. Sunod na page. Okay, for letter B direction, you have to classify. Okay, classification po siya. So you have to classify the following ingredients listed below according to the parts of the canapes. Write each ingredient in the box provided and write your answer on your yellow pad paper. Do not write anything on the learning activity sheets. Okay, so dito sa baba, makikita ninyo yung canapé base, canapé spread, canapé garnish. Okay, so yung nasa taas naman, yun yung pagpipilian ninyo. Saan nyo siya ilalagay? For example, si radish slices, saan ba siya? Pang canapé base ba siya? Canapé spread ba siya? Canapé garnish ba siya? So, dun nyo ilalagay. Kung si radish slices ay sa canapé base or canapé spread or canapé garnish. So, lahat po ito ay ika-classify ninyo kung saan siya belong. Okay? So, next is, here is the sample templates for activity task 3. So, nandito yon, letter A, letter B. So, yung nauna ko kanina, yung letter A, ito po yun, yung identification. And for letter B, ito po yung classification. Okay? Ito yung template. Ganito dapat yung gagawin niyo dun sa inyong activity. Okay? Kailangan malinis, maayos po ang inyong pagkakagawa ng inyong activity. Huwag yung bara-bara lang, maipasa lang. Okay? So, ayusin natin. Okay? And then, always remember yung ating color. Ang color kasi natin is brown for TLE. And then the shape. Remember the shape, remember the color. Okay? Next, activity task number 4. Okay? So, stay on page 5. So, nandun pa rin siya sa page 5 natin. Okay, so task number 4, appetizer. So, here is the direction. Collect cut out pictures from an old magazines or print out pictures of the plated canapes of your choice and identify ingredients used according to the given recipe. Paste the picture on a short bond paper. Short bond paper nakalagay dito but you can use yellow pad paper para uniform lahat. So, dun nyo din isusulat. Sa yellow pad paper, not on a short bond paper. Okay, reminder po yan. Your output will be scored based on the rubrics below. Do not write anything on the learning activity sheets. Okay, ito po yung ating rubrics para dun sa inyong gagawin. So, kung ikaw ay makakakuha ng 5 na score, so highest score siya, kailangan yung ginawa mo is creatively and neatly done, showing much relevance to the given topic. And if it is 4, creatively done and neat enough with the relevance to the given topic. And 3, creatively done and neat enough but no relevance to the given topic. And 2, simply done and neat enough but not so relevant to the given topic. And then the lowest score is 1. Okay? 1 yung lowest score. So, poorly done with erasures, irrelevant to the given topic. So, avoid it, no? Kailangan makuha nyo ay yung perfect score na 5. So, dapat creative yung pagkakagawa and neatly done. And yung relevance niya to the given topic. Okay? So, ayoko nang makakapag-check ako ng 1. Kailangan malinis yung gawa ninyo and maayos and creative. Okay? So, ito yung kanyang sample template for activity task. Ay, sorry, hindi ko nabago yung task 1. Dapat ito ay task 4. Okay, pakibago na lang po. Task 4 to. Okay, dito naman sa ating template, tama naman yung nakalagay sa kanya kasi activity task number 4 yung nakalagay. Okay, so ang gagawin niyo dito, yung box na yan, yung square, doon nyo ipipaste yung inyong picture. Ito yung picture nyo. Paste, cut out picture here. So, you can cut out 1 or more, 3, mga ganon, 3 or more kung gusto nyo. Pero ang minimum is 3 pictures. And then, paano nyo ba makikita yung ingredients? So, syempre, ang hinahanap natin dito is ingredients dun sa napili ninyong picture. So, napili ninyong appetizer. Okay? So, dun kayo, syempre dun sa ating mga magazines, kung recipe siya, included dun ang ingredients. So, yun lang yung kukopyahin nyo, ilalagay nyo dito. Okay? Lahat ng ingredients. Kailangan may quantity and then the ingredients. Okay? So, that's all. Thank you and goodbye. See you next meeting. Thank you. Bye-bye. Wow, it's so tagal. Di pa tapos.